Welcome to this explainer. Okay, if you're a founder, you already know the feeling. You're burning the candle at both ends, constantly putting out fires, and feeling like the literal weight of the world is on your shoulders before you've even had your first cup of coffee. Well, if that sounds like you absolutely need to hear this. Today, we're acting as your strategic advisors, looking at a harsh reality drawn directly from our source material. Self-mastery is the mandatory precursor to financial mastery. We're going to unpack exactly why your current morning routine might actually be costing you market leadership, and how to fix it by adopting what we call a truly sovereign morning.
So here's our strategic roadmap for today. We're covering 4 key areas: assessing the reaction tax, the wealthy morning pivot, the technical requirements for leadership, and finally, becoming the high-value architect. Let's jump right in.
All right, kicking things off with Section 1, assessing the reaction tax, or basically, the true cost of waking up in reactive mode.
Picture this. Your eyes pop open, you immediately grab your phone, and bam, you're flooded with urgent client fires. By 8 a.m., sure, your productivity is high, but your peace of mind? Absolute zero. That right there is the reaction tax. It's the sheer exhaustion of letting the world's problems dictate your internal state from the second you wake up. Before the sun even rises, the world, and let's be honest, those 5 unread emails from your most anxious client, are already working overtime to distract you. When you react immediately like that, you pay a massive, heavy tax on your focus before your day has even really begun. And the cost of paying that tax? Well, I absolutely love how it's captured in this hard truth. Your bank account will never outgrow your self-discipline. The morning sets the tone for the math. As an advisor to founders, I see this pattern constantly. If you want to hit those big financial goals, you have to take a really honest look at your 6 a.m. Hitting the snooze button literally tells the universe, nope, I'm not ready for the responsibility of wealth today. You simply cannot manage complex market strategies if you can't even manage your own morning.
Moving right along to Section 2, the wealthy morning pivot. This is where we go from just being a morning person to becoming a truly sovereign person.
Now, this pivot isn't some fluffy, feel-good self-help habit. It's a strict technical necessity. How you spend your first hour literally dictates your hourly rate for the rest of the day. Think about it. On one side, you've got the low-value worker who spends their first hour reacting, putting out fires, endlessly scrolling social media. But on the other side, the high-value architect spends that exact same hour creating and reflecting. It is a massive, game-changing paradigm shift.
And it all boils down to this simple but incredibly profound concept. The wealthy don't rush, they prepare. Wealth requires actively aligning your physical energy with your financial goals, instead of just blindly reacting to whatever shiny object or emergency lands in your lap. Rushing is basically a symptom of chaos, while preparation, that is a fundamental sign of leadership. Okay, on to Section 3, the technical requirements for leadership. Let's look at the actual blueprint for a sovereign morning.
To pull off this pivot, you need a strict blueprint. First, and this is a big one, absolutely no phone for 60 minutes. Second, exercise and hydration. Third, reading to center your focus. And fourth, reviewing your financial freedom number. Notice how this sequence leaves zero room for external noise? It proves a crucial point. You cannot effectively lead a company or conquer a market if you cannot first lead your own body.
Let's zoom in on that first metric for a second, because it's a real game changer. 60 minutes. That is 1 full hour of absolute no-phone sovereignty. In our modern, always-on business landscape, the morning is quite literally your only time to be completely undistracted. It's like a protective shield for your mind. It's the only guaranteed window you get to build your mind and body without interruption. So guard those 60 minutes with your life. So why are these specific steps so absolutely critical? Well, let's break it down. Moving your body is non-negotiable because health is the foundation of absolutely every other asset you own. Reviewing your numbers daily matters because, as we all know, what you measure, you manage. When you start your day grounded in your own intentional process, it prevents you from making messy, emotional financial decisions later in the afternoon. Plus, it completely insulates you against those flashy, get-rich-quick schemes because you're fundamentally rooted in your own disciplined execution.
And that brings us to our final stop, Section 4. The high-value architect. It's time to talk about building deep work stamina.
Because here's the thing, the discipline you build while you're in the trenches right now is the exact architecture that allows you to handle massive wealth when it finally arrives. 1 hour of sovereignty in the morning creates a day of sovereignty in the market. That daily ritual of intentional freedom is exactly what builds your deep work stamina. And you need that stamina to execute your most important calendar blocks without burning out, losing focus, or just succumbing to distraction midday.
Honestly, most people have this completely backwards. They think having millions in the bank will somehow magically make them a disciplined person. It's the complete opposite. Discipline in the morning creates freedom in the afternoon. Your morning routine isn't just some chore, it is the daily active ritual of your ultimate freedom.
Now, if you're a founder sitting there realizing, ouch, I'm definitely stuck in that reactive, low-value worker phase right now, then the logical transition to permanently becoming a high-value architect requires real commitment. The source material highlights the 365 Freedom Program as the next logical step here. It's designed exactly for this, to help you systematically own your morning so you can permanently own your life. It's the practical bridge from where you are right now to where your discipline meets your ultimate financial reality.
So, we're going to wrap up this explainer with a provocative question for you to chew on. Really look at your own life. Look at your plans for tomorrow morning. Are you preparing for wealth, or are you just reacting to the world? Evaluate those 6 a.m. choices, because if you win that first hour, the whole rest of the day belongs to you. Start your routine tomorrow. Actually, scratch that. Start preparing for it today. Thanks so much for learning with me, and I'll catch you on the next explainer.